Hey guys. I'm originally from the US, and I mean, I know it's a bit of a stereotype, but Australia is a terrifying place because of how many animals are out there to kill you. And every Australian is like, oh, you know what, it's exaggerated, it's not that big of a deal, like Australia is perfectly safe. But then when you start talking to more and more Australians, everyone has some story about someone they know. Like, everyone has some story about how their cousin got bit by an Eastern brown and had to spend a week in the hospital, or, you know, their friend from high school got attacked by a shark. Or I met someone from the Northern Territory who told me a friend of his in high school got eaten by a crocodile. And I was like, that's not normal. Like, that doesn't happen other places. And I think that maybe you guys are a bit numb to it. So I want you to like just kind of flush all that out of your mind, and let me read you these facts about Australian animals, and try to realize how frightening this place really is. Saltwater crocodiles can grow to be 10 meters long. They spin their prey in a death roll, which involves drowning the prey while simultaneously tearing its flesh from its body. That is a terrible way to go. There is a snake here named the common death adder. That's just the name of an animal. I think that may also be the nickname for someone that works in the accounting department of a mortuary. That usually takes a while to get. You're on top of it. We have bull sharks, tiger sharks, and great white sharks. All of these things are already deadly before you turn them into sharks. Bulls, tigers, and great whites. And some people are probably going, oh, Sam, but how are great whites deadly? How are great whites deadly? Why don't you just ask the Aborigines, Native Americans? That's why they go after surfers. It's manifest destiny. The golden orb spider has been known to eat birds. Birds aren't normally things that spiders eat. And this one is ridiculous. There's a snail that will kill you. The marble cone snail injects poison using a tube-like harpoon that's strong enough to pierce a toenail. Now, I have to guess that they didn't actually measure the force that harpoon can put out, which means that actually happened to somebody. So somebody was just walking on the beach and just like, oh. There's a snail. And a drop of coastal taipan snake venom can kill 20 people. In addition to that, I actually reorganized this one to be last because I just found out something really hilarious about this little guy. The funnel web spider can force its fangs through leather jackets and boots. It can bite multiple times and often leaves its fangs in your flesh and has to be removed by hand. Since when have leather jackets and boots not been enough to protect you from spiders? And the fact that the thing just stays in there, and then you're just like, that's just beyond terrifying. But I recently read an article about the funnel web spider. And so what's happened is it's going into funnel web season, and the Australian Reptile Park is dangerously low on funnel web spider venom for them to make anti-venom. So essentially the anti-venom is running incredibly low. So what they decided to do is put up some YouTube videos and instructions on websites and encourage people to go out and capture them, and then bring them to the Australian Reptile Park so that they could milk them and create more anti-venom. And there are a couple things that I find very wrong with that. One is that spiders aren't reptiles. So they should probably take it to the Australian Arachnid Park or create that entity, just so people don't get confused, because there's only so much stupid you can perpetuate. And the second thing is, who thought it would be a good idea to send a bunch of amateurs out when you're dangerously low on ammunition? It's like if the police were just like, oh, you know what, we really don't have enough staff, so we put up some videos on some takedown moves for criminals. If you see something happening, just give it a go. And we really hope nothing happens to you because we don't have the people. But that brings me to the most terrifying animal for Australia. The most terrifying animal for Australia is the drop bear. And the reason the drop bear is the most terrifying animal for Australia is that it's a fantasy animal. And I really wish I could have been there when people came up with it, where it would just be like, oh, Des, you know what would be really terrifying? If like a koala had like sharp teeth and like sharp claws and it like dropped out of the tree on you. Oh yeah, it'd be terrifying. The drop bear is like the least scary of any of these animals. These are fucking real. There's a snail that will penetrate your toenail and kill you. And you guys you could have come up with anything. You could have come up with anything, and the best you could do is a drop bear? You have to use as inspiration. Like, I just came up with this on the walk here, but why couldn't you come up with something where, like, oh, when you're walking on the red sand of Australia, if there's ants that will burrow up through your shoe and then eat you alive from the inside out. You're looking to make tourists and things look ridiculous, and then you just tell them that, oh, well, you know, in order to protect yourself from the ants, you need to just, like, not have your foot down in a spot too long. And people would believe you, because I would never have, like, there's a snail that will penetrate your foot, so why would there be ants that will burrow through your shoe? You guys have ruined fantasy. It's supposed to be worse than real life. It's not scary. I'm a bit of an environmentalist. So I'm like that guy that picks up garbage in the park and then puts it in the bin. And we create an awful lot of garbage. And I think a lot of it has to do with we have this kind of society now where we buy something and then in 2 years it's old or outdated, so we throw it out and then we buy the newest version. And there's so much trash on the planet. There's just landfills, and now there's an island of trash in the Pacific. It's the size of Texas, or roughly South Australia. And that's just really frightening. But then on top of that, there's like space is like the infinite void. Yet, when we launched satellites and different rockets in there, like there's pieces of the rockets that come off and then they're just kind of floating there, and there's like decrepit space stations that have broken down, and there's broken down satellites, and they're essentially, it's just garbage. There's just garbage orbiting around the Earth. And it's gotten so bad that like we had to put satellites up to track the garbage. And now NASA uses supercomputers and satellites to track this garbage, to move other satellites that are still functioning out of the way from the garbage. And then we have the audacity to wonder why we haven't run into intelligent life. But, I mean, in the intelligent life's position. Like, when you move into a new neighborhood, and there's that one neighbor that hasn't trimmed the grass, has an old broken down car in the yard, and there's just garbage strewn all over the yard. And they're always arguing so fucking loud out inside the house. Your made up belief structure's bullshit. No, your made up belief structure's bullshit. I'll fucking kill you. Just always fighting with each other. Guess which neighbor's the one you don't invite over for your dinner party? Yeah, that one. If we don't shape up our act, we're not going to get invited to any intergalactic dinner parties. That's it from me, guys.